Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, it's Wednesday, so I start off with my jokes. Usually they're making fun of the Jewish tradition to remind everybody not to take your own ethnicity and cultural background that seriously, that you can't find the humor in it. Every culture has it. I'm showing you how I do it with my own. So, in the Jewish tradition, if you're eating kosher, there are certain foods that are forbidden, taboo, treif, not kosher, and one of them is pork. And yet this one rabbi, he's dying to have some pork, but he knows he doesn't want to out himself in front of his congregation or other people, so he travels 50 miles to another little restaurant, and he goes in and he orders some pork. And when they come out, they not only bring the pork, but it's a whole pig with an apple in its mouth. And he said, wow, what a servant. So he's about to delve into it, and all of a sudden, you can't believe this, but the head president of the synagogue comes in, and he looks at the rabbi and says, "What are you doing here, eating a pig?" He says, "No, not eating a pig. I ordered a baked apple, and this is how they serve it." Anyhow, for my disappointing affirmation friends, yes, I'm going to still go at you for the next couple of months till you get sick of your own affirmations and decide maybe it would be to my advantage to say something positive. So if this is what you're saying to yourself, I'm capable of great things, but I'm not actually going to do any of them, but I could. That'll satisfy for you for today. All right. Now for my journal writing friends, you listen to a Buddhist monk and says, do your mantra and simply say, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. It's a loving kindness practice, which you won't be able to say to yourself and believe it if you're still struggling with managing your anger. So how do you do that? Yoga reminds you right away the first ethical principle is ahimsa. Clip in that aggressiveness a little bit. Think about the consequences of what you feel like internally when you get angry, how you make other people feel intimidated and fearful when you're angry. Have you ever experienced that? So how do you deal with your anger? Write about it, let me know. I'll tell you how I deal with mine. All right, so you know that every week I try to use my yogic teachers, my hippie teachers, my anthropological teachers, my psychological teachers, my Native American teachers, and of course always my affirmation masters to get across the message that I always say, first and foremost, it pertains to me. If there's anybody who needs healing and ongoing vigilance about watching themselves, it's me. And I just hope that what I'm tapping into is the similar struggle that anybody who's on the yogic path or path of awareness has to face within themselves. And I hope that some of it fits for you, even if it's only a one-liner. So, when you do yoga postures, you diffuse the energy. You develop a certain kind of prana or shakti, call it what you want, where when you're one with the pose, you lose your sense of self. The whole idea of I, me, mine goes away. There's just the complete movement in the moment. No second thoughts, no remembering the past, no anticipating the future, not even thinking or commenting on what's going on, but full immersion in the pose. And you only realize this, from my point of view, when you're immersed in the practice. Otherwise, your understanding is compartmental, not total. So yoga is a way of ripening your intelligence and developing the maturity that will dawn if you keep this up. It's a guarantee. If you're sincere with the path, good things are going to happen. Now, for so many of us, so many things are hidden by the camouflage of confusion and an unconscious network of assumptions. For instance, people are starving all over. We don't have enough food to feed everybody. Oh, the hippies in the old days didn't call it the Hunger Project. I don't like that name. They call it the Plenty Project. There's enough food to feed everyone. I mean, if Amazon can distribute something from a warehouse overnight for free, it's just a matter of thinking, how can we mass expand this to make it possible for everybody to eat? There's no lack of workable solutions. Just lack of political will. It's the responsibility of each of us to work for the good of all. Band together. That's how you get spontaneous cooperation. And yet, while you band together, each one of us discovers our own answers in that process. Fantastic. Now, all rites of passage, which is transition states, begin with separation. The isolation that cuts you off from all your social contacts and you don't know what's happening next. You're in that liminal state, that threshold state where the old status has been broken and yet the new one hasn't been established. We're like in a free fall right now in our own democracy, aren't we? A lot of what used to be doesn't seem to exist anymore. It's fading, or at least it's being thinned and lessened in a way that we haven't seen in our lifetimes, and we don't know where it's leading. So all of us have to face this rupture in the status quo. Remember, I always say the modern initiations have to do with things like birth, death, marriage, induction into the military, getting fired, getting divorced, having an accident, hospitalization, breakup in a relationship, all that kind of stuff. That's how you lost the status quo, and a breakthrough is happening, and it usually takes you down in an unexpected way and usually in an unwanted way. Then you have to deal with it. So what's the best way of dealing with problems? Creativity. Honor your creative capacity. There's a sacred expression that can funnel through you if you open the portals of your imagination, because what comes forth through you reveals how unique you are. You're one of a kind. They broke the mold when you were born. So stay with what comes through naturally to you and learn how to release the blocks to the flow of your own energy. And of course, to me, yoga is the best or most integrated path to do that. I never say that there aren't other ways, but for me, this is the best path. And most of the people who are listening to me are involved in yoga. So that's why I appeal to you, because I can speak from what I consider my life experience, which is what authenticates what gives me the right to say this, my life history, my track record. So, last is my affirmation put out for the day. There's no need to have anxiety or reproach yourself about accomplishing something that at present is impossible for you to do. It can't be to do your duty. It can't be your duty to do anything that's beyond your strength. Things that you don't have time to do. Pay back any money that you don't have. Not that you won't eventually pay it back, but in this moment, if you don't have it, don't sweat it. Find another way to do it. Don't sacrifice any of your integrity in exchange for your spiritual development. It says, all things be ready if your mind be so. Because in that world, demand and supply are one. Supply the mental condition, the demand, the opportunity, and the occasion automatically will present itself. So make it your business to feel good, because the world needs people who are feeling good to put that energy into the world. And if you do that, you'll see that your daily routine can become a groove, not a rut. So set your agenda, set out to do what you do, and then you'll see how effective you are in the world. Have a great day.